What up, everyone? You know who I am. I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw. Yeah, and we're hooking up a little something for you. It's time to go back, way back to the 60s, 1966, Fantastic Four, issue 54. Yeah, the Human Torch is fighting mad, for his girl Crystal is trapped, lost with the other Inhumans in a giant field constructed of the Negaverse. Yes, but right now, they're in Wakanda kicking back, and they're playing a baseball game. The Fantastic Four versus a few Wakandans and Wyatt Wingfoot. Yes, sir. Johnny's roommate from college. And Thing is pitching, of course. And they're basically winning. I mean, they all have superpowers. And this is kind of unfair, you know. But, anyways, Thing throws one in, and boom! It goes flying out in the air. And, of course, Mr. Fantastic uses his arms to stretch out, try to get him. He runs for the base and then suddenly trips, and Wyatt is able to make the play and get the home run. Wondering what happened, Sue had actually cheated for him because they were so behind. It was kind of unfair that they had superpowers and the other ones didn't. And of course, Reed chases after her to give her a little spanky spank or whatever, a little pickle tickle. And of course, Thing is wondering when they're going to be getting home. He misses Alice and he misses New York. But anyways, they're in Wakanda. Woo, Rich Roland kicking back with some of the finest foods, finest delights. Wakanda is that afternoon delight. Yeah, a place between technology, the jungle, all mixed into one. All kinds of fun, if you know what I'm saying. And of course, through all this lavish luxury, Human Torch is still pining over Crystal. Meanwhile, Black Bolt and the Inhumans are trying to figure out a way to get out of this dome. They are trapped in there. And of course, he has to go to his brother, Maximus the Mad, for he is the one that trapped them. And he has to figure out a way to get his people out, get them out of the dome. And Crystal, of course, is missing Johnny as well. And good old Maximus is inventing kites and inventing this and that. But Gorgon tells him that he needs to open the door. He needs to focus his mind on that before Gorgon rips him in half. This is a kind of a turning point for the Inhumans because Black Bolt has just been named king. And then they were sealed in. Now, everyone is getting gifts from Wakanda, you know. Sue's getting a few dresses. You know, they're getting different stuff. Thing gets this weird exercise machine. But nothing cheers the Human Torch up. Nothing seems to brighten his day. But then Wyatt gets an idea. He wants to see Wakanda, you know, because he's going to be going back to the college in a few days. This is probably his last big adventure that he's ever going to have. So he decides to ask Wakanda, you know, for a tour. So they put him in this gyro machine. It's able to like go over any different terrain. So him and the Torch decide to go on a trip, like a camping trip sort of. And they're traveling around the desert right now, just looking, seeing what they can see, exploring. And then all of a sudden they fall into a sand pit. And they fall all the way down. Yeah. And they're trying to figure out what they're going to do from here. And also kind of fixing the machine, getting the sand out of it. But meanwhile, they find this old cave with like a giant dragon set up on, you know, on top. And the Human Torch is exploring it, basically wondering what the hell is this and what's going on. There's a lot of weird wonders in Wakanda, as you can tell. So he goes to the door, and he's a little surprised on what he finds. He finds this old-looking knight. And Wingfoot tells him to be careful because you don't know who or what it's going to be, or even if it's going to be friend or foe. And usually when the Fantastic Four comes across a strange being, it's more foe than friend, if you know what I'm saying. But then, poof, he wakes up, stuns them, and then explains that he was Pastor John, a knight for King Richard's service, going all over the world, bringing justice to the unjust, as a knight does, you know, going around doing knightly stuff. And he's basically saying that he's been around the world in the 12th century. He's seen wonders that you wouldn't believe because technology actually existed, I guess, back then, or it was more technological. And he, like he said, he's been everywhere. And in his travels, you know, he kind of got trapped, stuck. And the only device, the only power left from that is what he calls the evil eye, a trophy that he took. A ray gun with a lot of different powers, a lot of different potential. And of course, Torch demonstrates that they're no ordinary people. And he fires a blast back and boom, he makes a bottomless chasm. And he kind of shows off right now and blasts away up to the surface for them. And Torch figures that's it. That's his way. That's his way to help Crystal. That's his way to free her, to hold her in his arms again. He must have the device. Meanwhile, the Inhumans, Maximus makes this suit for the fish guy so he can breathe, on land. He's all happy. But Gorgon is insisting that he needs to start finding a way to open the barrier, and to open it now. But there is a way for Black Bolt too, but it may destroy them all. Meanwhile, the Human Torch and good old Pastor John there are having a little fight. Human Torch demands that he gives him the evil eye. He demands that he needs it. He needs to use it. So he takes it from him and flies up in the air. And this is where Pastor John says that he didn't turn the safety button off, so the power is gathering and gathering and gathering. And if he uses it, it's going to explode in one big blast, incinerating him and anyone else that's stupid enough to be there. Anyways, Black Bolt is trying to do his own thing to get out. He's focusing his own power onto this machine, using it in order to crack the barrier, and he's going full tang on it. But will that be enough in order to open it? Meanwhile, the Human Torch is flying full speed that way with the eye in hand, and Wingfoot and the Knight are following him in the little bubble. Of course, he gets a big gun, Wingfoot, and boom, he hits the evil eye just before it makes a huge explosion in the desert. And Johnny, saddened, losing his opportunity to rescue Crystal, feels broken. But will he ever be able to see her again? Will they be able to rescue them? Will Black Bolt succeed? We'll find out the next time, won't we? And I'll catch you on the flip side.